Says I'm live. Am I live? Courage to Change, July 14th. Here we go. I didn't know how great a burden my guilt was until I made amends and gained release from it. I never wanted to face the harm I'd done in the past. Consequently, without knowing it, I carried guilt with me most of the time. Making amends has helped me put the past behind me and move on with a clear conscience. My self-esteem has grown ever since, and I feel much better about myself. But I had a problem. The person I felt I owed the most amends to is no longer living. Deep in my heart, I knew she had understood and forgiven me, but I could not forgive myself for the harm I had done. How could I possibly make amends? After much prayer and thought, I realized that I couldn't change the past. All I could do was to change my present behavior. Now, when I'm feeling tempted to shirk a responsibility, I can remember my friend and reconsider my choice. Each time I talk to a newcomer, chair a meeting, or share my story, I am making amends to my friend. I can't make past wrongs disappear, but I can take actions that will help me let them go. When I make amends, I do what I can to correct the situation. Then I can put the past in its rightful place and leave it there. Wonderful reading. This is why we do the steps. This is why. Guilt, remorse, and shame will kill you. It will destroy your life, one little brick at a time, right? So when you do the steps, you get an opportunity to really take an honest look at yourself, take responsibility for what you've done, and make amends where necessary. A lot of times, this one particular in this reading, it says the person I owed amends to is no longer living. When I do the steps with others, I will have them write a letter. I'm very specific when I tell people, about their amends. I give them actually a script to stay on topic. I believe it's the action that is really the healing element here. So it doesn't have to. The person doesn't have to be alive to hear your amends, because it's the action. And I believe they do hear it. They know it. So there's two things here. One is you can write a letter. You can mail it to, I call it the Santa Claus address. If you put their name on the letter and you don't address it and you just pop it in the mailbox, it will go to the North Pole to Santa Claus, and Santa Claus will get it to heaven or whatever you think. It gets to them. That's what I mean. Just go with that. But the other thing they're talking about there is a living amends. I don't act that way anymore. I'm trying to do things different. And I do that, I've helped a lot of people that have had amends that they need to make to CPS, right? Child Protective Services, or to the police station, or to churches. They've had a resentment or an issue with organizations. And I just say to them, you're just not going to do that anymore. When someone talks to you about the police, you're not going to chime in with your story about how you paid the police. You're just going to button your lip and listen, right? You're going to try not to add to the problem. Change your thinking. I've had problems with family members, and I'm able to help other people's family members as a way of an amends. So living amends, going to meetings, changing your life, helping a newcomer, putting money in the basket are all great ways to make living amends. There's a lot of ways to do that, so that you are taking action to show the universe that you are trying to do something different. That's the whole point of this, is change. Okay? The whole point of this is change. Taking the direction you're going that's not working and changing it. Change directions and move in a different direction. And it takes action. And it can take action whether the person's alive or dead, or you're ever going to see them again. There's action you can take, positive action, to change your perspective on life and how you react to it. Have a great day.